Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Repentance. How we doing? 0? That's one of the best streaks I've ever had in Repentance. I'm thrilled. I'm over the moon. What the heck are we gonna do? Really? At some point, like, it's gotta happen, right? It's just the most miserable character to play as. I don't even mean like the worst, although that's also probably true. Just the most miserable. I guess it depends where you're at, like in your day and in your life, for example. If you feel like you're, and you know what, I'm swinging for the frickin' fences, man. I'm going for it. We don't have a whole lot of HP to make that work, but I'm going for it regardless. If you're okay with feeling chased, then I think Tainted Jacob's not so bad, you know? On the negative side, that's totally fine, by the way. It's obvious, you know, you have a ghost that hunts you down, but it's very simple. Just use Anima Sola to keep him in place, and then use the eraser on him that you get from your first shop, and then proceed with the rest of the game as normal. You got nothing to worry about. There's just Tainted Lazarus is like too much, not enough butter spread over one piece of bread, right? It's just, it's a bit of a slog. But one day, perhaps even today, we will succeed in getting something done. I mean, I've done other things as this character somehow. I don't remember how it came to pass, but it did come to pass. It do be coming to pass, though. Red Stew. I have no idea how Red Stew will work. The answer is that it probably won't. Because we won't be able to afford it, not for any other reason. There's a temptation for sure. We gotta peep the secret room. They never made secret rooms more obvious than this one right here. We got a battery charge in there, which is devastating. You never know, like, I was really, to be honest with you, hoping for something insanely low percentage. Like, imagine if we'd gotten an R key or something like that. Like, that could have changed our lives right there. We could be heroes just for one video. Anyway, though we may lose, there is no reason to assume that we're going to lose early on this run, except for all the HP we willfully gave up to that Eddie room. And Bob, I do it again, by the way. Might as well get started with some banter. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I thought that was Red Stew. I got very excited. Is this full HP too? It gives us a little extra. So we want to be able to play the Eddie room 7 times. That's very, very unlikely to happen. Even with a flip that allows us to get one more in there. Just give me a moment, okay? Because there is, like, 4 cents puts us right on the precipice of being able to accomplish something valuable here. And if we could invest in this early, it would mean more to us. 5 cents might allow us to get like a key or something that allows us to take it a little further. I don't know. I'll open it. It's only half a heart. And I felt like something along those lines had to happen if we were gonna get anything going out of this first floor. We don't need to get something going out of the first floor to live, but... Oh, that sucks. Okay, maybe there's a key in there. I don't know, man. Like, I'll take what I can get at this point. There is a key. Honestly, this is what I would most likely be happy to buy. Everything else in there, with the exception of Red Stew, which we're unlikely to afford, you know, even in the best of times. Okay, there's a double key. I think we're out. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Where are we going, by the way? We've done alt path? I was cracked. At one point in my life, I was cracked. I don't know what happened. For now, we'll just worry about, you know, ideally not dying would be pretty sick. This would be, you know, with half a heart you can die on any room, but this would be one of the more embarrassing rooms to die on for sure. Excuse me, I'd like to sneak it in between the rocks like Catherine Zeta-Jones dips beneath the lasers. Yeah, I'm doing well. It's a Wednesday over here. I gotta tell you, I think I have become a toxic multiplayer gamer. You've seen it happening, you know, in Rocket League. You've seen it happening a little bit in Knockout City. I think I'm not toxic, like, every once in a while, and by every once in a while, I mean about once a day. If you play something like Rocket League online, you will have somebody on your team that essentially is just like a case for needing therapy immediately. And I don't mean that in a negative way, like they should be embarrassed. I mean, like, literally, you know, you try to, like, you take a shot, for example, in Rocket League, you miss the net by, like, a single inch, and then someone will be, on your team, they'll go, nice shot, nice shot, nice shot, nice shot, nice shot, nice shot, and you're like, what the... There's no way to inspire cooperation in the spirit of unity, like 3 seconds into a match when we have a shared goal. Full health? Oh, that's devastating. I'm gonna wait this out. You might think I'm insane. I'm gonna wait it out. I knew I should have gotten a cup of coffee before so I could caffeinate right now, but instead we're just gonna sit here, we're gonna wait it out. I'm not gonna flip. We might need to flip later to figure out who gets what item. But I'm not toxic to that extent. Like, I don't go into games looking for a fight, but I'll say nothing has triggered more of my toxic gamer instinct than Chivalry 2. And it just came out yesterday. I didn't play in any of the open betas or whatever. But I did play a lot of Chivalry 1. We used to play it for, I actually had a private, goodbye, I lived. We used to have a private Chivalry 1 server that we would use along with a Counter-Strike Global Offensive server for, like, Sunday subscriber stream games. I know it probably sounds really fun, by the way, that we used to play with subscribers all the time on Sundays. I guess we take. It wasn't not fun, but all I'm gonna say is that after, you know, a year and a half of just alternating Chivalry, Counter-Strike, and getting dominated by, like, the same, you know, 20 people in each game over and over, people were excited for something like Fallout New Vegas to come and take its place. Let's put it, that way. But I never get mad at the other team, like, oh, you beat me, like, 1v1 me on the Battle of Rudhelm or something like that. I always just, like, watch my own team and go, like, yeah, you know what I think it is, to be honest with you? I think it's a byproduct of having a little bit less time, because of the fact that, you know, I really only get maybe, you know, 25 minutes a couple times a week, except for the weekend. Where I get a little bit more time, but to play these games, so I boot into a Chivalry match, and I'm, you know, excited to do my part, and then I see, like, 7 of my teammates just, like, mindlessly slashing each other, and I'm like, guys, this is the Battle of Gloom Forest. Like, can you act like you know, you wanna win? I mean, we're doing this for Agatha, man. I would never, and I think this is the distinction that sometimes comes up, but I would never admonish a teammate for just being bad. That doesn't bother me. And I think this applies, like, it was kind of the same philosophy. That's Are You a Wizard? It was kind of the same philosophy, to be honest, when I was a teacher, to some extent. We gotta try the card. It could be fun. Let's see what you got. Oh my god. Dude, it's like always High Priestess. Obviously that math doesn't bear out, but it really does feel like it's almost always High Priestess. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna play you for a bit here, because a speed and HP upgrade would be worth something for me. We can always buy another Spirit Heart if we have to. I don't know. Maybe we could make Beyblade work here. But to finish my earlier train of thought. I'll never be mad at a teammate for just, you know, trying their best but not being good. It's the same as, you know, I would never be frustrated with a student for, you know, maybe not having a perfect handle. We just take. For maybe not having a perfect handle on, like, the material right away or something like that, but genuinely doing their best. You can't be mad about something like that. They're trying, right? But when you have, like, somebody who's obviously, you know, very bright, very, you know, talented, and then they just don't try, that's where you go, like, you know, what's wrong with you? It's just like in Rocket League, it's less like, For me, I would never hit my teammate with any kind of quick chat toxicity. If they were, you know, they tried to land a shot and failed, life goes on. However, if they, like, I'm hitting the ball and then they use 100% of their boost to try to hit the ball away from me so they can put it on net and nobody is there to take a shot, that's where I find myself going like, hey, what's wrong with you? Do your parents know that you act like this? Bad damage. It's okay. I mean, everything about this run is pretty subpar right now, except for the HP. And that's only on half of the characters to begin with. I think we definitely will take a deal with the devil, though. Like, we'll take a look at it. One brimstone solves half of our problems on this run. Okay, Gulp is fantastic for the record. I actually think we flip right away. And then take Gulp on you. I know we're stacking one character up here. But taking Gulp on this character, you know, they're more likely to take damage willfully. That's an item I can't be mad about. I literally, like, do not care about leaving Beyblade behind. I also don't care about leaving these trinkets behind, although admittedly, yeah, I don't know. Child's Heart might be a little bit better. I'm not willing to take the chance to Gulp it, though. You know what I mean? It's never like, you know, if I was watching, you know, my favorite sports team, and they were playing like a team, but the shots just weren't going in, they were hitting the post, the other team's faster, what are you gonna do? You know, you can't really be mad at someone and be like, hey, be faster than Connor McDavid. You know, it's hard. It's not easy. But when you see things like they just endlessly are abusing the same drop pass on the power play, for example, that they've been using since the Sedin twins were in their prime in, you know, 2009, 2010, you find yourself going like, maybe we should mix it up a little bit here, like it's our tactics that are a problem. That was where I was at in Shiv 2 last night. I thought I would not really like the game. After playing it, I was like, this is a ton of fun. I'm having a great time. The only time I'm not having a great time is I feel like, you know, I see my teammate in a 1v2, and I step up. I'm like, I'm gonna help them out to make it a fair fight. And then I realize now I'm getting 2v1'd, and I look back and my teammate's just over there, like, staring up at the ceiling, checking his text messages or something like that. Come on, man. It's the Battle of Rudhelm. Like, again, this has serious implications for our kingdom's grain supply. If you could please act like there's some consequences. That's why I almost feel like that game would benefit. By the way, this just sucks, but I feel like that game would almost benefit from, like, a, if not a BR, like a much more limited spawn system or something like that. But it is a fun time. I mean, I think that's a very realistic take, honestly. The same thing happens in, like, group projects all the time. You know, in, like, in high school, let's go. in high school and university, even in, like, middle school, right? If you get someone on your team, or on your group project, and they're trying their hardest, but maybe their work is, like, substandard, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, oh, hey, if you excuse me, could you just, like, go back in time and, like, pay closer attention in every single lesson that you've ever had in your entire life so that we could maybe have an easier road of things on this completely optional part of the group project? Like, you know, it's an unreasonable request. But if you get somebody who's like, you know, oh, sorry, I didn't do the work, I just didn't feel like it, then you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna, you know, when we submit our group evaluations at the end, I'm gonna say this person did nothing. And they were proud of it, too, for some reason, bizarrely. Anyway. So all I'm saying is maybe I'm not toxic. I actually think that it's possible I might be considered the ideal teammate if you are good. Which is not fair, because I'm not really good. I feel like I'm good on paper, and as a result, I am intolerant of mistakes that happen on paper. But when I actually, like, when I miss a wide open net, I'm like, oh, well, there's nothing I could do. See, you always bring it back. Okay, you know what? This is very silly. We probably should have dropped Judas's tongue, like, in the center here. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Why don't you just do it now? I almost left that would have been like the Judas's tongue play. It could have happened. It's more likely than you think. Anyway, how's the run going? It's going pretty well. We obviously have a big problem. Our regular Lazarus, who I've probably called Jacob 70 times, has very little going for him. But this is an optimal situation here to some extent. We'll get 7 seals on Lazarus. So now he has a little bit of extra damage coming his way, and we are in the 7 Seals Redemption. I can't remember if I mentioned that. We're in the 7 Seals Redemption arc now. I actually feel somewhat optimistic about where we stand here. Am I insane to do so? I don't. Oh, this is horrible, man. I will buy this at least. I don't think I am, you know, outrageously out of pocket or something to say that. Do we have 2 viable characters to make it through the entirety of the game if we're not going alt path, true ending, etc., etc.? I think we might. I think we might. We need more on regular Lazarus. But I gotta admit, you know, the less you got, the more an item like 7 Seals definitely seems to shine. I'm very thankful for what we got going for us here. Excuse me. Excuse me, thank you. Alright, 2 bombs. We could flip and go to our curse room, but it puts us in a pretty tight spot regardless. With 2 bombs, we definitely can use both of them, and then give a bunch of money to the Judgment. In all likelihood, we could find a second secret room out of this as well. That's what's tilting it in my favor. Let's go. That's worth flipping, but let's see, because we might end up in a situation first where we want this item to be on Jacob, or regular Lazarus. That's another reason to flip right there, honestly. Sorry, I'm getting twisted up in the tactics here. I don't think it really matters who takes. In fact, maybe it's better for you because there could be a Spirit Heart in here. We are going to be forced to take the tick in lieu of the no, you know what? Hold on. We'll lose counterfeit penny if we do this. I'm trying to see, because you can take it. Probably, maybe it doesn't matter, but to me it kind of matters to take the tick on the character that can gulp. You know what? It doesn't matter, because we would. I'm sorry. I'm getting lost. I'm becoming my own chat here. I think it makes more sense to keep counterfeit penny, which is probably going to have an expected value of like 1 to 2 items over the rest of the game, or a lot of consumables to maybe keep us alive and let us get strong enough to win. Then to flip, have tick on Lazarus. At least we can suck tick later, like gulp it, I should say, just to, you know, not be as gross as possible. And then get more trinkets. I think essentially it ends up being exactly the same. So I think that this is the right play. By the way, that's an Are You a Wizard pill, because you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Magician, we do not care. We flip. And grab those Rodden Hearts. And I think we prefer counterfeit penny. Although, now I'm like, you know, it's tough. Hold on. Now I kind of want left hand. And we'll lose the Rodden Hearts to make this happen. But I kind of want left hand. Because we do have that 1 guppy item. So this is like, it's the kind of thing that usually would not be relevant on an Isaac run. But let's see if we can gulp the counterfeit penny by doing this. It did not work. So we have to make a decision. My decision, to be honest with you, I think we keep counterfeit penny and try to just get Guppy via deals with the devil. Money is well, we're on Caves 1. Yeah, money's really good. I'm not sweating, you know, Judas's tongue so much. That's not as relevant of a concern. Let's see if we get some Spirit Hearts here real quick, and then we'll move on with our lives. Yeah, I don't know. It might seem like that was laborious for no reason. All I would say is that, you know, we're essentially still operating, you know, 50% of the time at base level DPS as this character. So I'm very thankful to have at least gotten the chance to, even though it took a lot out of us psychologically to puzzle that out. Oh, frickin'. But it didn't cost us our Devil Deal chance. Let's go. Even though it took a lot out of us psychologically to puzzle that out, you know, I'm glad if it's between that and the alternative being like, you know, nothing you do has any impact on the run, then I'll take the brain teaser any day of the week, I suppose. Okay. Controversial thought from me here. Not dying is one of the effects in Isaac that most positively correlates with your chances of winning. The more you die, with some notable exceptions, the more you die, the less likely your run is going to succeed. In fact, I would say if you never die, most of our runs have succeeded. Very few have actually failed. Either like that glitched run we opted out of the other day, notwithstanding. So I think if we can just, you know, preserve our own essence right here, we're gonna be reasonably happy for now. All we gotta do, if we're just trying to beat the streamer path, then we got nothing to worry about, you know? You just send it, man. Hey, Seven Seals, it's not your fault, like, that this character is bad. But it would help out a great deal if you could just get yourself over there. I hate to say it, I feel like we got another shop that's largely pretty much worthless. See if this is a second secret room. This gives us a picture of kind of where we're at on the run. I'm gonna blow you up. Okay, well played, I suppose. We spent 2 bombs to get 2 bombs. I used the stones to destroy the stones. So now we know we're likely to be pretty close. That's not a secret room. We're likely to be pretty close to the boss because we just found the second secret room there. It's not an exact science, but... Okay, I mean, you're gonna die, probably. Who takes this? We need this... Yes, I think that was a sensible way to play it. We need it on the character that has less going for them right now. I don't even know if it's gonna be that helpful, but I also feel like 120 volt, doesn't that, like... It scales with familiars or something? I don't know. Maybe not. We don't appear to be zapping too much. Am I insane? I thought there were some lightning bolts coming off of this character. I thought I saw some. Here we go. Is it just like if you get close enough to their hitbox, you start zapping? No deal. This is a great flip situation, because we definitely want the HP on you, but also we have counterfeit penny on this version. Ooh, la la. Okay. The coins do be appearing. I don't know if you get a limited number based on the speed at which, or the time in which you grab them, or if it's like a random amount, but I think we'll head down to the next floor now. I'm still somewhat skeptical, but we'll see. Anyway, what else have I been up to? Not so much, you know, I've been cooking. Well, you know what? Now I realize I got a lot to talk about. First off, you know, this is an extension of the HelloFresh ending arc. Very excited that I'm, you know, back to cooking my own stuff on Monday night. Today's Wednesday, so keep in mind on Monday night I made a potato and chickpea curry in the Instant Pot. It was pretty good. Could use a little tweaking, and not so much to my wife's liking, so that recipe will be scuttled for, you know, bachelor life or something like that when she's out of town. Well, you know what they say, when the cat's away, the mice will eat a potato chickpea curry made in the Instant Pot. It really is how I live. Like, anytime, like, Kate went to Tokyo Game Show by herself for like 2 years in a row. When she was gone, I basically made like a large vegetarian curry and just ate it 3 to 4 times a day. and just worked and went to the bathroom. It was like living in like the Himalayas as a Buddhist monk. It wasn't bad. You know, I wouldn't want to live like that for 100% of my life, but you know, for a brief little interlude, I was like, this is a nice change of pace. Living in essentially a, you know, like being in prison, having the freedom of being in prison without the lack of freedom. You know what I mean? It's like everything was handled for me. I guess by me, but still. Anyway, regardless, we're moving on from that. Last night, I made... It was taco night. At least I made it taco night because I have control of the menu. I've got nothing against a soft shell taco. In fact, like if I'm going to a Mexican restaurant for tacos, I would probably... Well, I don't know. Maybe you don't see them on the menu that much. I thought it might be a pair throw. It doesn't matter who takes this. Maybe camo underwear is actually good as this guy, because 7 seals, in theory, could, like, just kill all the enemies and we could treat it like Nod Leaf. But anyway, a soft taco is kind of like the de facto, you know, consensus #1 choice for tacos. You know, if you had to choose which one is better, and I would agree, by the way, I would say a soft taco tends to be better than a hard taco. However, I also think the hard taco is a little bit underrated. I lived my entire adolescence thinking that a hard taco was like a compromise. Like it was something you could, you know, pack as like a Civil War era ration because it wouldn't go bad. But really, you'd be missing out on that, like, beautiful soft tortilla. Like that. I don't think I've ever seen this room before, by the way. It's interesting. And I uniquely hate it because of our terrible range right now. I don't want to do it. I just try to finesse a couple of shots in there, here and there. One more. There we go. There we go. Thank you, 7 seals. Then when I got older, you know, I was making tacos at home, and Kate was like, "We should get hard taco shells one time." And then, you know, and I kind of guffawed. I said, "Ha ha ha! I don't think so." Let's... I mean, actually, you know what? Let's not flip. Not because I don't want to flip, but because I want to save the flip for our deal with the devil here. If it's a good deal with the devil, we probably want to swap and take DPS on this character. But we might not want to, is the other alternative there. So, you know, that's... keeping your options open is worth something. So HP does really well on you, I would say, right here, even though we got the Spirit Hearts already going for you. Blue Key makes our life better if we get Pandora's Box or Hush, the odds of which are comical at this point. I gotta say, this seems like a big deal to me. We could take both, but I think we benefit from... Maybe not even take... Maybe we should have taken... Well, I don't know. I'm gonna take both. And it's spicy, okay? It's a genuine spicy situation. We can take those on you now. Still have a shop to go to here. This is where Counterfeit Penny can finally, like, earn its stripes. I haven't finished my train of thought, by the way. I apologize. So anyway, we bought hard taco shells. This is like 4 years ago, right? We haven't even made it to the present day in this story yet. But we bought hard taco shells, and I said, what the heck? These are delicious? Why didn't anybody tell me that these are delicious? So I started making hard taco shells with some regularity. Now, I do need to note, okay? We don't need jumper cables here, that's for certain. I do need to note. Tell me what you're feeling, because I need to note. I bought... There's a local-ish Vancouver Mexican food store. It's not a restaurant or a grocery store. It's like a food supplier. Called Fresh is Best. They make fantastic tortilla chips. Salsa, you know it's good because it has to be refrigerated. And also hard taco shells. So those are the first hard taco shells I think I ever tried in my entire life. And I was like, these are fantastic. I had a problem filling the hard taco shells, so I said, you know what? Forget this, man. I'm gonna buy some old El Paso with the flat bottom so they're easier to stuff the tacos. I ate them and was like, these taco shells came pre-stale. It's like they staled them out in the factory as a joke. I don't understand why you would do that, but it appeared to come to pass, okay? If the old El Paso Corporation has any staff watching, that could be good, but it's a static 25% chance to get something, which means it's going to cost us on average 0.8 damage to get champion belt. It could cost us less, but it could also cost us more. Anyway, so I went back to the fresh is best. I think a hard taco is underrated, and I'm being sincere here. When I tweeted, because I had some problems filling the taco shells. It's not that it's hard, it just takes a while to, you know, if you're doing them one by one, you know, as you eat them, like maybe you set out the dish family style, and then you're like dressing the tacos one by one as you get them. It's not so bad. It takes you 20 seconds to make a taco. You eat it, you repeat the process. I was dressing them, you know, for the whole family, i.e. my wife and myself, because the baby, you know, she's pretty advanced, but she's not at the level where I would trust her to eat a hard taco yet. Soft tacos first, probably. Maybe we'll start her off with we'll get her like a barbacoa burrito from Chick-fil-A, from Chipotle. There we go. Start her out on something more simple. That's another Are You a Wizard pill? I'm insulted by the amount of Are You a Wizards. But when I tweeted, why is it still so hard to fill a hard taco shell? Figure it out. I got a lot of useful comments. One person, actually a couple people said, if you heat them up in the oven first, they become slightly more pliable. This is not, I'm not being rude. I actually did heat them up in the oven, so this was at, like, peak pliability. It's just like you always are running that gamut, or trying to thread the needle between, like, I want to be able to stuff this hard taco so that it's satisfying, and I get that we're getting dangerously close to, like, you know, quadruple entendre territory, but just bear with me, okay? I'm trying to have a serious conversation here about cuisine. Without getting bopped by the horny hammer, you know, every 2 seconds, just because taco is a euphemism now, but what isn't, by the way. Many things, okay, valid. However, the alternative is that, you know, you pull on the taco a little bit too much and you snap a little piece of it off. That's no good. That's not what you're looking for. This is okay. Money equals power means this shop sucking is actually totally fine, but we do want a key. That's you know what? No harm, no foul. The money equals power will roll over to the other character, by the way. Don't sweat that for now. Okay, mom's contact is good enough to take. We definitely don't look at that as a slap in the face, unlike so many things we've gotten on this run. That hurts. I do think we should explore. We're not gulping too much, huh? But I also, I guess I would just say that I was surprised by the amount of people who tweeted me and said that's because nobody's eaten like a hard taco since the year 2003. Look, I would never suggest that a hard taco is the superior form, but they do. I like them. I like them, you know, as an addendum, you know, for a little variety, being the spice of life and all that. It's the same as, like, you know, every once in a while, and it happens with more regularity than I guess, allowing you to infer there. But Malf, you know, poutine's a part of his brand identity. So sometimes people will tweet Malf from all over the world, and they'll be like, hey, my local, you know, pub just got poutine. Can I get a like on this tweet? And you see some stuff that, you know, I'm not even French Canadian, but just as a Canadian in general, I just look at it and go, that's not really poutine, but you don't want to rain on the parade. I bet it's delicious, you know. It's British style French fries, you know, chips with like a tinned brown sauce gravy, and then, like, you know, some onion bhaji on top of it or something like that. I'm like, hey, look, it's not really poutine, but I'm not gonna get up in your face and be like, that's inauthentic, I'm gonna be like, to be honest with you, save me a bite, that looks delicious. You'll see, you know, McDonald's French fries with, you know, ketchup on them with some shredded, like, mozzarella cheese on top, and you're like, that's not really poutine either, but I bet in a pinch is doing something for you, don't get me wrong. I don't think I can justify going to this curse room, man. You know what I think I can justify is trying this on for size. And it's gonna cost us some damage, but I do think it's worth noting. That's good, that's good. The damage it's gonna cost us, which it has paid for itself, albeit on a different character. The damage it would cost us was not as, it's not gonna determine whether or not we win or lose this run right now. What's gonna determine whether or not we lose this run, I hate to say it, is a combination of our own HP, which is very low right now, and then also, let's go. Okay, this is potentially big as well. Although we have low luck on you, I think I hate to do it. I can't give up. Ironic. I can't give up the damage from money equals power just for a chance to get some HP, and the chance isn't even that good. It's gonna come down to a combination of our ability to get some HP at some point, alongside not getting hit. But we do, and this doesn't happen every time with Tainted Lazarus, so I gotta let you know that this is like a pretty special case. We really do have 2 winnable runs. If you stacked all these items together, we would have the easiest, like, chest victory you've ever seen in your entire life. It's a testament... Okay, I've walked into you. It's a testament to how annoying Tainted Lazarus is, that a run with so many good items, and it really does have a lot of great items, has taken 33 minutes to make it to the mom fight. I think we have to flip. And then do this, even though, like... Because this is what we're... Yeah, this is our path. And admittedly, we've had some times where we've stood still in order to try to get the, you know, puzzle out what we wanted to do. But for the most part, and that's a tough room at 0.9 speed for sure. For the most part, like, you know, one amazing run, this gives you some kind of idea of the diluting factor of playing as Tainted Lazarus, wouldn't you say? As Tainted Lazarus, one amazing run gets turned into 2 runs that honestly are, you know, still considerably below average somehow. Anyway, I'm not trying to complain. If anything, I should acknowledge we're very fortunate where we stand right now. We're cruising, probably not the word I would use. And, you know, for every 7 rooms that are pretty easy for us with what we got going on here, it only takes 1 room hitting us 2 times to put us into a very dangerous position. So we're just, you know, we're acknowledging where we came from on this run, which was, you know, from very little, very limited means. And we're in a position where if a couple of things go right, we could be celebrating a bit of a Tainted Lazarus coup here, if you will. Very disappointing that we didn't get Shoop da Whoop, which is, you know, it really would be a pretty sick get for a spacebar item on a character that has no spacebar item. We do have a 72% chance of a deal with the devil. I'm trying to think about what a deal with the devil could mean for us. Really, something like 9 lives, I would take it on this character. I would take it on the character that is like, that has 0 guppy items, just to raise the chances of survival, I think. We should note, and no, I don't know. That's tough. It pains me to note this because it hurts my sympathy, or it hurts perhaps your sympathy for me. However, if we make it to some of those late game bosses, like, let's just call Isaac and Blue Baby late game bosses for now and ignore the fact that, like, they should be pretty routine for us at this stage of my life. Okay, that's painful. That's substantially worse. Anyway, what I was gonna say before I almost met my certain end and then was forced to come back here is that I think... Don't take the Spirit Heart. We'll have the advantage of having 2 health bars, but it really does work best. Come on. It really does work best when you can just go to the... like, when it's the final boss, so your flipping has no serious negative consequences long term. We still did get a range upgrade for this, so I'm not insanely upset. I'm also not, like, insanely, pleased. And some of this damage, you know, is... tough to argue was anything but my fault, but... Ooh. Okay. We're still alive. It's something. We still got a 23% chance on a deal with the devil. There's still something. Man, oh man. You know, I hate to say it, because the deals with the devil have really helped us, like, stay together on this run. But something like the relic, man, like a deal with the angel that gave us some defense in that department would have hit the spot. Anyway, we don't have to worry about that just yet. The run's still, you know, we're even getting some tick value. I know people are probably like screaming, please use the tick on the boss. You know, 15% of a boss's HP. It does matter in some situations, but you know, it's pretty unlikely to be the determining factor. Anyway, regardless. The whole point of this episode is not even winning, like, as, like, Tainted Lazarus or whatever. Like, winning is temporary. What's eternal is finally recognizing, like, the potential glory of a hard-shell taco, man. Like, people do be sleeping on them. It's like you're eating... How many dingles are on this fight? Like, this is... Do you ever look at this and just go like, this is absurd? Anyway, I'm just saying, give it a... If it's been a while, give it a try. I'm not... And if you can only get Old El Paso, maybe you're better off staying with, you know, a tortilla with a little bit of, you know, merit. But if you have the opportunity to get something beyond a mere Old El Paso hard taco shell, I would recommend giving it... Just see if it... Try it on, see if it fits. So that's painful. That... I mean... We got laser beamed by an early game boss from across the map. 39 minutes into a doomed run, but that's okay, I'm not sweating it. It's all falling apart. You know how I usually say it's all coming together? That's not the case here. It is definitely all falling apart on 1 HP. We can go in here though, and honestly, you're gonna be like, what are you doing? We need something, you know, when you're on 0 HP, it's like having no water in the Sahara Desert, you know? Yeah, you should probably endeavor not to, like, you know, sweat or drool, but also, if you don't, let's go, find a way to get some water, you're pretty much toasted anyway. So if you can spend a little water, or in this case, like if you can take on some extra risk, to minimize your risk of being killed long-term, probably benefits you. I'm trapped up here. Yep, okay. Well, you know, you get what you freaking deserve. Hey, Tainted Lazarus, a lot of fun. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I do think we could have won there. It would have been nice if some Spirit Hearts showed up. But thanks for watching either way. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It's a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!